Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be trying out a bunch of new products that I picked up from Rare Beauty. I also have like a palette from Nabla. These are products that I've had on hand and I really wanted to try them out. So I wanted to go ahead and film a video with you guys today. I am testing out a new foundation and this is the Charlotte Tilbury foundation. I'm testing it all day today, but that's going to be a separate video. So I'm sure that one will be up prior to this one. I'll go ahead and link it here so you guys can check it out if you want to. Today we're just going to go ahead and play with some makeup that I have. So before we get started, if you're new here, I would love for you to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll know when I put up a new video. And for those of you who have been with me, thank you so much for coming back. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'm gonna put on some of my Milk Makeup Primer for the eyes. And I love this because it is very hydrating on the eyelids. And right now with the winter months, I do get a little bit dry on the eyelids. So I just take my finger and rub it all over. I recently had my eyelashes redone, and these are more of like the volume type lashes, so they're a lot longer, a lot thicker, a lot fuller. I really like them like a lot better than what I had before. Before I felt like she would not put enough lashes on there, and when I asked for fuller lashes, whatever she did to me was not enough. I always feel like if you're gonna pay for lashes, why not go big, right? If I'm gonna pay for them, I want them to be seen. Before I go into eyeshadow, I am gonna show you some of the products that I'm gonna use today from Rare Beauty. I did pick up her Always Optimist powder. This is actually a Radiance Powder. I did pick it up in the shade medium. I also picked up one of her brushes, which is the Always Optimist powder brush. And then I also picked up a blush, which this one is the kind of like the one in a little pot type blush. It's not the one that I tried before. The ones that are more of a liquidy type blush, the ones that come with a little applicator, those I really didn't feel like were as good as I would have liked them to be. They were good, but I think they just show very faintly on the skin. So I wanted to go for something a little bit more intense. So these blushes got the Allure Award, I think. And so I wanted to go ahead and try one of these out. And I ended up getting the shade, what is this? Nearly Berry. So I'm gonna try that out today. And I also got one of her bronzer sticks. This one's in the shade Always Sunny. So yeah, I'm gonna try out all of these products and we're just gonna go through and apply them on the skin. Now I have set my foundation. I do have concealer on, and I really do like to try bronzers with my set skin. I really like it when a cream bronzer works on like powdered skin, so that's why I went ahead and just powdered everything. Plus I'm trying to wear makeup on top of this foundation as I'm trying it out throughout the day. So we're gonna get started with the eyes. I do have a palette from Nabla that I got from Camera Ready Cosmetics, and this one is gorgeous. It's got very warm and neutral tones in there. It's just a beautiful like everyday palette, so that's why I picked this one up. I feel like I haven't really tried a lot from Nabla. I do have one of their blushes, which I love, but I really haven't tried a lot of their eyeshadow palettes. So I went ahead and picked this one up. I am gonna set this primer and I'm gonna use this lighter shade right here. This is kind of a cream shade. It's called Party. So we're gonna go ahead and put that all over the lid just to set that milk primer. I'm actually gonna go in with this shade right here called Halftime. It's a really nice neutral brown shade, and I'm gonna put that in the crease. So far pretty good. I don't have a lot of fallout, so that's really good. I'm gonna go on top of the shade with Beauty Mark, this shade right here. Now I'm going to go into this shade right here called Cubism, and I'm going to place that on the crease, kind of deepen up that crease a little bit. Then I'm going to go on the outer corner a little bit, kind of deepen that up. That was a really pretty like gray shade, very nice and smoky. Now I'm going to take this shade Love Ritual, and this one is going to go on my lid. Just pressing that into the lid. Wow, that is really, really pretty. I want to add a little bit of sparkle, so I'm going to take the shade Better Society on my finger, and I'm going to just pat that into the gray shade just to add a little bit of sparkle. And I like it because it's not too sparkly. Like I said, you can use this palette like an everyday type palette because there's not a lot of shimmery, sparkly shades in there. It's just like a very faint, very light sparkle. So that is it for the eyes. I am going to go in with my Refi pencil. I've been using this quite a bit. I'm going to go ahead and do my brows, and I'm going to do them very, very quickly on camera. I am going to take my Thick It Stick It by NYX. I do like this product just to add a little bit more color and to set the brows. So and just go over it gently. And then I'm going to brush through my lashes. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with the Rare Beauty products. Let's go ahead and get started with the bronzer. Now I've tried some Rare Beauty products that didn't really work out for me. So I don't want to just give up on the brand. I wanted to go ahead and try some of her new things, and maybe I'll find something that I really like. But this is the bronzer stick right here. And like I said, I got Always Sunny, which is a really beautiful warm shade. So it seems very creamy and it doesn't look like very dewy. So the way I'm going to apply this is with a brush. I'm just going to use this brush that I have from Sephora, and I'm just going to take the brush and run it on top of the bronzer, and then I'm just going to press it into the skin. Okay, it's going on really pretty. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and run a little bit on the back of my hand. This is actually how I apply the Makeup by Mario bronzer. I kind of warm it up, and then I just take the brush on top of that and then press it onto the skin. It just helps spread that product out a lot better. Not that this product really needs help because it feels very creamy. So that is the shade right there, which I think is a really pretty shade. I really do. Let me go ahead and do the other side. I'm gonna put a little bit on my forehead, make everything look even. A little bit on my chin. Not much, just a tiny bit on my chin. Okay, so I think the bronzer went on beautifully. It didn't break up like any of my makeup. My foundation's still on, the powder still looks good. All right, so I really like the way the bronzer went on. I think it just looks really beautiful. So we're gonna move on to the next product. It's the Stay Vulnerable Nearly Berry Blush. So this is a cream blush. Oh wow, how cute. Look at how cute the packaging is, guys. Isn't it adorable? Okay, so I love the packaging. And then here is the blush. Now that blush looks pretty intense, but I think it's gonna look really pretty. So I'm gonna clean off that same brush. I'm gonna take all the product off of there. And then I'm just gonna dip my brush into blush. And I'm going to apply this on top. Wow, it is pigmented. Wow, but it's really pretty. Wow, I love it. I love it, guys. It's pigmented, but it's like super easy to work with, and I like it way better than her liquid blushes. All right, that looks really good. I really like the way that blush looks. It's just so pretty. It really is, and it's not a nearly there type of blush. It is pigmented, so you only have to go in with a light hand. All right, so now we're gonna try her Radiance Powder, and I got mine in the shade medium, and this is what it looks like. So this has 0.35 ounces of product. Again, I got the shade medium. Okay, so I did buy the brush, so we're gonna use a brush with the powder. The brush looks like it could actually be used like for bronzer, like to contour. It could also be used for blush, but today we're gonna use it with the powder. I like the inside of the packaging. It's really pretty. It's got this little gold emblem. It actually twists, so you can open and close the product so you don't spill it and get it everywhere. So I'm just gonna take a little bit inside the cap. That is what that looks like. I'm just gonna swirl my brush in there. Like I said, this is a Radiance Powder, so that's why I'm using it at the end, so that it could just kind of give my skin like this radiant look. And I'm actually only gonna do one side. I know it sounds crazy, but I am testing out the foundation. So I did not plan on using this powder and trying it out the first time with the foundation, but I will say the powder is gorgeous. It is beautiful. It gives my skin that little bitty glow. It looks really pretty on the skin. It really does. And that powder had a little bit of color to it. It did add a little bit of color to my skin, which is fine. It's not a lot. It doesn't look like a huge difference, but it's still really pretty on the skin. I'm not gonna put it on this side of the skin because I am testing this foundation out, especially right here around the T-zone area. I wanna give this foundation a little bit of chance without putting something on it that I have not really used. So anyway, this is what it looks like. I think it's beautiful. My skin really doesn't look off on either side. So if I go out, you're not gonna see a big difference other than this side kind of having a little bit of radiance, a little bit of glow. All right guys, before we go into the products, I wanna go ahead and put some eyeshadow on my lower lash line. All right, I just mixed Halftime and Cubism. It was the gray shade and the first shade I used for my crease. All right guys, let's go ahead and go over these products really quickly. First and foremost, I wanna say that everything that I used today was phenomenal. I cannot believe that I'm liking these products that much. So let's go ahead and start with the Rare Beauty powder. I think the powder has such a beautiful like radiant glow to it, and I love that it has like a little tint to it. It does set my makeup but also add a little bit of coverage as well, so I really do like that. But again, I didn't put any on this side, and I really don't see like a huge distinction between having the powder on and not having the powder on, other than just a little tint and the slight glow. So yeah, I do love this powder. I think it's beautiful on the skin. And then for the Rare Beauty cheek product, this is so good, guys. I am definitely gonna look into more of her shades. I put a little dent in it, and I had this blush all over my hands earlier. Thank goodness I didn't touch this cream sweatshirt. But yeah, it is really beautiful on the cheeks. You know, I think this was what I was expecting from her liquid blush. This has like pigmentation. It's easy to apply. Of course, her intention here was to make these a little bit more, I'm sure, pigmented than the liquid blushes. The liquid blushes are very like natural. So I think that's why I like this one so much, is because I can see the blush on my skin, and of course I don't really go with a natural look very often. I do like that look, but I just don't use it very often. I'm always using, you know, something that can be actually seen on my face. So anyway, I really like this cream blush. It blended beautifully. It didn't break up my foundation. The pigmentation is definitely there, and I love it. The next product is the Rare Beauty bronzer stick. This is a beautiful cream bronzer for the skin, and I will say that it's not dewy at all. It's not super emollient. It has like that really nice consistency to it where it's easy to apply on your skin, and it blends in so seamlessly. Even using the brush, there weren't any streaks or anything. It just blended into the skin beautifully. I do love this shade. I think the shade is really pretty. It adds a lot of like warmth to the skin. And if I'm not mistaken, I think these come in like 4 to 5 shades, but I love this shade. I think this is such a great shade for my skin tone. And then for the brush, this is so super soft, guys. I mean, it is really, really soft. Kind of reminds me of like, remember when you were a kid, you had a rabbit's foot? It reminds me of like that. So it's really soft. It did blend that powder on my skin beautifully. I think that I would use this brush more so for bronzer or for blush, and not so much for powder. I feel like it's kind of just too small for my face, you know? I feel like I need a bigger brush to set my face when I use powders. So yeah, this is a really good, very soft, very like durable type brush. It feels very luxe, and I know that I'm gonna be enjoying this. And for the Nabla palette, the shades went on so pretty. I love that little hint of sparkle that I put on my eyelids, the Better Society shade, which is that one. It is so pretty on the eyelid, and like I said, you could wear these shades like every day. You don't have to just use it for, you know, nighttime looks or for event looks. This is like your everyday palette, and it is beautiful. I don't think I told you guys the name of it, but it's a side-by-side nude palette. I don't know if I showed y'all that. I'm gonna get a lot of use out of this palette. I think it's a gorgeous palette, and these Nabla shadows are really good. Like I said, I haven't tried much from the Nabla makeup line other than a blush, and I wanna say I might have tried a shadow palette out back in the day, but I can't remember. So anyway, I love this palette. It's a good one. If you're looking for neutral, warm tones, everyday makeup, this is it. So that is it for this trying on new makeup from Rare Beauty and Nabla. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please like this video. Take care, and we will see you guys on the next one. Bye.